Coming up next, great news. Job openings are exploding. And then why teachers are walking away from their profession. And we take your calls. And it all starts right now. All right, I'm coming to you live from Ramsey Solutions Studios. And you have joined a conversation about you. Specifically, who you are. And we're talking about talent, what you do well, passion, work you love to do, and mission results that really move your heart. That's the who you are. What you were created to do, that's the work, the role that you were born to play in this world. Then where you can do that, because it's multiple places. It's not just one dream job. And then finally, how do we get there? How do I climb my mountain? That professional pinnacle. Well, that's what we cover. There are 7 stages. This is a journey. You know that inherently. But there are 7 stages. I've done them. That's why I call them what I call them. Stage 1 is get clear. That's truly discovering that unique role. What do you do best? What's the work you love to do? What's the results that you want your work to create? That's get clear. Stage 2 is we got to get qualified, get a ticket to the dance. Stage 3 is get connected. Right? So that we get opportunities. And then that leads us to stage 4, get started. And once we're in, now we're focusing on stage 5, getting promoted. And we keep getting promoted, and we keep getting promoted. We keep climbing until eventually we step into that dream job. But we're not done. We've been going up, 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 and then we get into that dream job, and now we expand the dream. Now we're looking out. The vision expands. The dream expands. And in some ways, we could kind of start that process back over, get clear on the next thing. And what we're doing is we're in stage 7 for the rest of our working life, giving ourselves away because the success and the satisfaction come with this journey to that significant role that you're supposed to fill. The money's in there. You're not working for money or status. You're working for legacy, to leave the mark that you know you're supposed to leave. So let's help you no matter where you are on that journey. If you're in that first stage, get clear. Come on. You've got the answers. It's my job to get them out of you. Some of you are going, Ken, I'm in stage 5. I've never heard it that way, but right now I want to get promoted. I'm on the right ladder, or I need to figure out the next ladder. I need help getting up the mountain. 844-747-2577, 844-747-2577. You can also engage on the show in the chat room for those of you watching live just after 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And if you're watching later, welcome too. By the way, for those of you that engage on YouTube here know that you can also get our show via podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. All right, so I got some great news. Huge news. And I want to crow a little bit. I want to kind of brag a little bit, but then I checked myself. And you know what? Anybody with a brain that actually functions could have predicted that jobs are going to surge back. We had an artificial economic shutdown. And it depends on what news you listen to, but most news is negative. I don't care if it's left-leaning, right-leaning, center. I don't care. It's just designed to get you to pay attention, so they scare the ever-living you-know-what out of you. But anybody with a brain goes, look, when we get back to work, or when we stop all the shutdowns and everything like this, I mean, jobs are going to come back. So here's what's actually happening. And boy, oh boy, am I optimistic. Not surprised at all. New data that is proving that as we continue to open, because there's still a lot of states that are slowly opening, that we're going to see an absolute explosion in hiring. Millions of jobs. Here's where we stand right now. There were more than 6.7 million posted private sector job openings in February. That's up from 6.1 million in December. So a nice steady climb. Another way to look at it is there were 8% more job openings in February 2021 than there were in February 2020. And let's look at March. There were 13.5% more job postings at the end of March than there were in 2020. Manufacturing, this is great news. By the way, just a little non-political but sort of political statement. I hope our leaders, both sides of the aisle, figure out this manufacturing stuff. We got to start giving tax breaks to companies and manufacturing companies. You know why? So that we make stuff here in the United States and we're not relying on China. I want American citizens, whether you came over or you're just, forget American citizen. If you're just here legally, I want you to be able to work. Let's make stuff here. That's good for our country and good for our workers. Manufacturing up, pharmacy up, construction up, logistic jobs up. All of those about 50% compared with the pre-pandemic baseline. Now, let's just wrap this up with some incredible perspective. In February of 2020, just over a year ago, there were more jobs available than there were people who were unemployed. We still have in that low 6 unemployment rate. Obviously, that's going to come down. We start getting back closer to 3%. We are going to be in a phenomenal situation. And you know what? It makes sense, Joe. I just got to talk about it. Now's the time to get ready to get hired. This is the time to move. So I'm going to tell you how to do it. We're going to do a deep dive on what I teach you on the show by doing the first 3 stages: get clear, get qualified, get connected, in our Get Hired event, installment number 2, bringing it back April the 27th, here live and live streamed. There's the details right there on the screen. April the 27th, 7 p.m. Central, 8 Eastern. Text HIRED to 33789. Text HIRED to 33789. And if you live close to Nashville and want to make a day trip out of it, come on down here and have some Nashville hot chicken. Go see downtown Nashville. I don't know. Have some chicken and waffles, whatever you fancy. And then come on up to Ramsey Solutions World Headquarters. Going to have a special night. I think it's limited to 200 people. So it's going to be really, really fun. We still have tickets available. Tickets start at just $20. We have several ticket tiers. We're selling one tier where you get a coaching session with me. Whoa! So text the word HIRED to 33789. All right, to the phones we go. 844-747-2577. Paul is joining us in Columbus, Ohio. Paul, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, how's it going?
Paul, I'm living the dream. What's going on?
No, I actually want that Nashville hot chicken you just said. But
see, come on, man.
Trip.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with the Nashville hot chicken. What you need to do is plan a trip and then take it all in. But how can I help?
Exactly. I want to get straight to the point, not waste the opportunity, obviously. So I really want to get some help getting clear on what career path I should take and how do I stay productive in my current role. I have some career ideas and background information prepared, and I just appreciate you taking the call.
You bet, man. So let's talk about what you're considering. Give me how many paths are you truly considering right now?
Well, there's 3. I'll start with what I'm most qualified for and then just go from there.
Okay.
The first one was a counselor or a therapist. I have a degree in psychology.
Good.
I'm currently in the business insurance side. The second is actually a dream job, feed the soul, being a soccer coach or a soccer trainer, something in the soccer field. So just in that industry. Mm-hmm. And then the last one is going into the FBI program as an agent. So that was pretty recent. I thought it would be really interesting. It's just something that when I was job searching popped up and seemed to pique my interest there. So,
interesting. Now,
all over the place.
Yes and no. There's always a pattern. So let's just look at talent, passion, and mission. All right. That's how we get super clear. That's the process of stage 1, getting clear. And that's where you are. We're right there. So we look at what you do best, your top talent. And then we look at passion, work you love to do. And then we look at mission, results you want to create. So let's look at passion and mission on this FBI thing, because I could see a clear tie between the counselor, therapist, and the soccer coach. There's ultimately that to me, that's the work you love.
Mm-hmm.
About coaching is really the instructing, the influencing, the advocating, and a little bit of performing in there. Does that sound about right? If I were to define work you love, would those words give you an accurate representation?
I appreciate that. Yeah, I need that outside perspective. So
yeah, good. But I mean, does that resonate with your heart when I say those things?
100%. And personal development, I would think, was one piece that really popped out for me as well.
Well, that's absolutely right. So let's just use that. That's the missional result that drives your work. You want to know that your work is driving influence, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And ultimately achievement too. You're a guy who likes a scoreboard. Anybody that likes coaching likes scoreboards. Am I right?
I want to win. That's correct.
Yeah, baby. So let me tell you what I think your top 2 missional results are, the results that you want to create with your work. I think you want to influence others, people specifically, and I think you want to achieve. You want to be really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Sound right?
Correct. Yes.
All right. So what's interesting is we go, where are those patterns coming in with this FBI agent thing? You know, so what's the work of an FBI agent that intrigues you? Because you've never done that type of work.
Correct. Yeah, I think it's more so when I rolled past it, it was a prestige thing. You see FBI, and I thought, wow, that would be really cool just to have that, that organization is who I work for.
Yeah,
so I think it was that, and then, it's more so helping people, and you, like you say on every show, everyone wants to help somebody.
Yeah. Here's the deal. Anytime someone can walk through an explanation like this, and you hear yourself, you need to hear what I heard. First thing you said was prestige. And boy, don't we all get trapped and confused sometimes and distracted by prestige. Here's the deal. The only redeeming thing in there is the serving part. But the reality is you're a guy who wants to instruct. You're a guy who wants to teach. You're a guy who wants to influence, right? I mean, you just do. And so I think that's a little off for you.
Okay.
And I think the counselor therapist, you led with that because I'm the most qualified for that. But there's no question that the soccer coach and working in soccer and really bringing in the counseling and therapy. See, a coach always has that opportunity to do a little counseling, a little therapy, don't they?
Yeah.
How much money do you need to make?
Well, I currently make about 65, and that's kind of where I'm at with making a huge switch for that, because obviously with very little licensing, going into coaching full time.
Yeah,
so like talking half that. So
right, so we don't do an abrupt change. We do a gradual change. So the answer to that problem in your head, how do I make the income I need but do what I love? It's gradual.
Yeah, and the benefits and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. So when I started into broadcasting, guess what? I had 3 kids and a mortgage and a wife and a dog. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Benefits, needed all that. I couldn't do an abrupt change. So I stayed working my small business, and I was my own boss, and that was what I needed. I needed that cushion. I needed control of my time, and I needed the income. And so I gradually worked my way into broadcasting. So it took me 7 years to get to Ramsey Solutions, and I had to pay my dues. Even though I was doing something in my sweet spot, it wasn't my dream job. And then I stepped into the Ramsey personality role with the national show, writing books, speaking, all the things, after another 3 years. So I was right at 10 years stepping into this thing. So everybody that gets clarity would say to me, yeah, Ken, I'm willing to do what it takes. But when I say to people, are you willing to wait as long as it takes?
Yeah.
That changes the whole thing. So if you're willing to wait to work in soccer full time and make 60 or more, if you're willing to wait, meaning you're going to be active, you're going to do things, you're going to get involved right now. Like today, you make a decision. All right, I'm going to keep my day job, make it 60, but I'm going to find ways to get involved locally. Might be volunteer at first, but then I'll start making a little bit of money, and then I'm going to find out how to make more money, and I'm just going to keep gradually moving into that space. And eventually, I'm going to walk from the day job. I'm going to move from paycheck to purpose. How does that sound, Paul?
It's a dream. So I'm hoping that, I just never thought of coaching as a full-time career.
It is, though. Well, wait a second. Wait a second. Wait. I'm not. See, you're trying to talk yourself out of this. Look, you said coaching or training. Well, guess what? You may be training. You may be assistant coach. You may be doing some player development stuff. But eventually you step onto a squad and you could go up to the next level. How old are you, Paul?
27.
You're 27, Paul. Gee whiz, man, you got time.
Okay.
So, Paul, I've got friends that are in basketball coaching, football coaching on the D1 level, and those guys started out and they grinded it out, man. They had day jobs, and sometimes they made huge sacrifices. Hey, listen, I work for Ramsey Solutions. Don't forget, we got the ultimate tool here. We got the ultimate financial tool. See, the baby steps that Dave Ramsey created and Ramsey Solutions now promotes, that'll also get you to a place where you can do this. So if you have no debt and you put some significant savings in, you could eventually kind of move into something and make less. Now, if you're married and you got kids, that creates a little bit more of a challenge. Might put some more time on your timeline. But, Paul, can you do it? Can you get there?
100%.
I know you can. By the way, I'm expecting you to. So here's what I want you to do. Do you have my best-selling book, The Proximity Principle?
I don't.
All right. Well, I'm disappointed. I'm also happy to be able to give
I've
it to you.
just listened to the show, unfortunately.
No, I'm joking, dude. Listen, I'm giving it to you.
Thank you.
On one condition. Amanda's going to pick you up in just a second, and she's going to give you whatever format you want. You want the audio book, you want the ebook, you want the physical copy. But here's the deal. I wrote it for people like you. This is how you get where you want to go, and you know where you want to go. This is how you get there. It's about the right people in the right places. There's 5 archetypes of people and 5 archetypes of places. And then the back section of the book is all about the practices. What do you do when you're around the right people and in the right places? Paul, will you read the book and do what I tell you to do in the book?
For sure.
Okay, now listen.
That's what I'm going to get for my dream.
Listen, that's how you're going to get there. Don't overthink this. Read each chapter, do what I tell you to do, revisit it, keep doing it, and you will get there. Hang on the line. We're going to get it to you. 844-747-2577 is the number. Is it Danny? Is that how I say that? Danny in Santa Rosa, California. Danny, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, good morning.
How are you, Danny?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I am living the dream. What's going on?
Awesome. So I'm having a bit of an issue with my director.
Okay.
She's been calling out a whole bunch, delegating more of her work for me to do, and then asking me to come in on weekends to complete things that she wasn't able to get through during the week. I'm wondering if I should bring this up to her or if I should go to HR.
Is she paying you extra?
For coming in on weekends?
Overtime, yeah.
Yeah, I get OT for that.
Okay. And is it considered, I mean, you called me, I'm trying to read between the lines here. Tell me what that's making you feel like. Because obviously you want to go to HR, you want to go because you don't want to do this, but you feel you have to do it.
Yeah. She can be really lovely sometimes, really nice, really accommodating to my schedule when I have to do errands and have to leave early maybe.
Yeah.
But other times, especially during the pandemic, we work in healthcare.
Yep.
She's been out a whole lot. And so I feel like I've been carrying the weight of the department.
Yeah.
And I'm a little resentful. I'm becoming more resentful because she's salaried and I am hourly.
Yeah.
So there's been times when she says she's working from home and I check our tasks for the day at the end of the day and I see that nothing got done that she said she would handle. So I'm like, you're working from home, but you're not actually working, but you're getting paid for it. Meanwhile, I'm physically here getting the work done, and I'm not getting paid as much as you.
Yeah. So what would you do if you could snap your fingers and resolve this? How many hours a week would you just go 40, no overtime at all, and she just picks up her slack? Would you do some? I mean, tell me what your desired outcome is.
My perfect outcome would be I work my 40 hours and there's more of a boundary between what are her tasks and what are my tasks.
Okay. So no overtime and she needs to pick up some slack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
maybe some overtime.
No, I get it. Well, so this is tough. And I'm going to address it, but I have one more question. Do you love this work? Is this the career path you want to be on? Is this affording you a ladder to keep growing despite all this stuff?
That's my other qualm with it is that at this point, I don't see much opportunity for growth at this facility that I'm at. I could apply for a director position at another facility, but here there is really no opportunity for growth.
All right. Now this is good. So same company, different facility. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, I can.
And would you need her recommendation and a glowing report to be able to do that, and then would it help that, and that would be a promotion as well, correct, if you did that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so this changes my answer. No, don't go to HR, because if HR brings this up and brings this to her, you didn't bring it up direct, so she's going to feel like you went around her back. And I'm not saying you did anything wrong if you do that. I'm just saying, think about the human element. How would you feel? It just puts too much potential yuck into this already not cool situation, right?
Yeah.
So, the reason we don't go to HR on this, and I'm going to also suggest don't go to her about this, because I think you now have a get-out-of-jail-free card if you position this the right way, and I'm going to tell you how to position it. You want to grow. Hey, there's an open position over here, and I want to move into that role. And you've trained me, and I've done so much with you, and the pandemic has offered me a lot of opportunity to do things that you do, and I want more. I want to grow professionally, and obviously that helps me grow economically. You know, if I grow my responsibility, I can grow my income. And I'd like to apply for this down the road, or I'd like to apply for this now, and I'd love your recommendation. Or you don't go to her at all if you don't need her recommendation that much. But I just think that's weird. You don't want her to find out about you leaving if somebody contacts her anyway. So I like going to her, and let's position it as, I want to grow, I want to do this. And I want to go over here because there's an opportunity to step up, and you've trained me so well, and I've been able to learn so much with you, because she is lovely sometimes. So let's focus on the lovely, and let's get out of there. Here's my point. You understand why? There is no growth there.
Right.
So that's issue number one. Issue number two, all the overtime and her being a poor leader right now. There's something going on in her world. She's hurting. Something's going on. You can't fix that. So there's no point in trying to fix that with her by confronting this. It's just not going to play out. And so I'd rather you say, let's find something else and move on. There's no ladder in this current building that you're in. So let's go find something else, and let's see if she can be an advocate for you and help you get that. Then you just kind of avoid it. You really avoid the unnecessary confrontation because it's just not necessary. Let's get you out of there. You've reached your lid. So let's go somewhere else. Time for a new container. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, definitely.
And by the way, it takes care of all this junk underneath.
Yeah.
You're just in a situation where you're under a poor leader. Now, you better pay attention to this and go, I'm going to get the opportunity to lead. I want the opportunity to lead. You just told me. So now you go, oh, boy. And I want you to start looking at her as a wounded leader. She's not a healthy leader. Maybe she may not be just a good leader. She probably may just not know how to do it. Right? So you give her grace. And then you go, what do I learn from this? And now it's time for me to move on. But this is your sign. It's time to move on. Big neon flashing sign.
I see it.
How's that feel?
A little bit scary.
Yeah.
Because I'm very good at my job, and I do enjoy the work that I do here, and I get along with my colleagues.
So here's the deal. Don't jump.
Time for growth.
Don't jump.
Yeah.
Now, what you could say in the interim is, hey, I'm starting to get overloaded. As you know, I love to step up. I've been doing the overtime. I need a little bit of a respite. You can do that in the meantime. But the point is, keep your attitude good, be grateful, and I'm not telling you to jump. So there's no reason to be scared. If I said, Danny, you got to jump today, yeah, you should be scared. You don't have anything to jump to. But that's not what I said. So remember, fear can lie to us. Fear can protect us, and fear can lie to us. If you're planning to jump off a cliff today and quit with no job, you should be afraid. But if you're going to go find something else and really build a bridge to that and move into that, and you're not going to interrupt your income, and you do love what you do, she's lovely to you a lot of the time, well, then there's nothing to be afraid of. Make sense?
Yes.
So no fear, Danny. No fear.
All right.
You got this?
Yes.
You better believe you do. I believe in you, Danny. You got this. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear the giggle of freedom. I'm free. I'm free to pursue this. And I just got to be smart about it. We don't have any idiots that call this show. We don't have any imbeciles. And if I need to remind you of that, I will. But listen, the minute I start telling people, oh yeah, throw caution to the wind, jump off the cliff, who cares if you don't know what's down there? Well, then Madison is instructed to shoot me with a tranquilizer dart, drag me out of the studio, and get rid of me. Because that's a bunch of motivational gibberish that gets people in trouble. I'm not here to be a snake oil salesman and tell you, you got this, you can do anything you want to do. No, you can't. You cannot do anything you want to do. Oh, Ken, I don't like that. That's not very positive. Well, I'm positive that when people tell you that, they're lying to you. Now, I'll tell you what you can do. You can be great at what you were created to do. You can love doing what you were created to do. But if I go try to dunk a basketball without the help of a trampoline on a 10-foot goal, guess what, Nathan? I can't dunk a basketball without a trampoline. And honestly, with a trampoline, at almost 47 years of age, I question whether or not I could do that without knocking my head into the backboard or going into the pole. Most likely, I wouldn't jump with enough force, and I would go headlong into the pole. Okay? Look, folks, I'm just telling you. We're not prescribing that you do something crazy and scary and risky. That's the lie that fear tells you. That's the lie that doubt tells you. That if you get on purpose and you go after this thing, well, that you're going to risk everything. No, you're not. Let's do it well. By the way, real quick, Joe, don't hit the music. We're going to go take a break. Don't hit it yet. I want to give a shout out. Right before I took the first call, I have ADHD, and that means I can do a lot of things at once. And I saw that Allie Evans is watching right now on YouTube from England, and that's really, really cool. So I'm sure the rest of you want to shout out from where you are. I'm not going to do that, but I want to say hi to Allie, who's watching from across the pond. That's what I love about YouTube. That's what I love about just this digital age that we're in. Anybody can listen, and anybody can jump in. So there you go. Allie Evans, appreciate you for watching. All of a sudden, I want some fish and chips, Joe, right here. Just right here on the old desk. All right, quick break. When we come back, got some more news for you in our In the News segment. And you never know. I might go on a rant. Who knows? This is the Ken Coleman Show.
We were drawn to Christian healthcare ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs.
We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org.
We absolutely believe in it.
Welcome back as we continue from our Ramsey Solutions studios in Nashville. You have joined the Ken Coleman Show. It's a different kind of talk show here on YouTube, and you're one phone call away. If you're watching us live right now at 12:28 Eastern Standard Time, you can call live. We've got a few phone lines open, 844-747-2577. If you're watching later, thank you for watching. Whether you're live or later, would you subscribe if you haven't already? Would you give us a thumbs up for today's show? It's right there below the video window. And spread the word. We are growing, and we want people to know that, you know, there's not just a bunch of freaky, weird videos on YouTube, that you have access from anywhere around the globe, and we're talking about your purpose. We're trying to reframe work. That work is more than just a job. It's more than something you do just to live. In fact, you were created to work. If I substitute the word work there and I say created to contribute, even if you've never heard me before, you go, I agree with that. I'm on this planet to at least make a difference. I'm not here just to consume. See, I think that's the one unifying factor of the human condition. I don't care what country you're from, what your religion is, what you believe about politics, who you love. I'm just going to tell you, what unifies us all is we all go, I want to make a difference. But I also need to make a living. And so our entire purpose here is to help you look at work differently, Find the right work that you were created to do. Get qualified for it. Do it really, really well, and leave a legacy. We want you to go from paycheck to purpose. You can make the money you need and the impact you want. You can. 844-747-2577. All right, some somewhat discouraging news I got to share. It's in the news. I'm going to share this news, and then I'm going to teach out of this because this grieves my heart, and I don't like sharing bad news, but this is news that is right in the middle of that mission I just shared with you folks. From Business Insider, the headline reads, "Teachers are hitting a wall more than a year into the pandemic, and some have decided to walk away from the profession." This really, really upsets me. Now, prior to the pandemic, I would say, Madison, we'd probably average a call a week, maybe from a teacher who felt burned out. And when I get that call, I always go, wait. Let's figure out what the burned out is. A symptom. It's not an actual source. It's not a thing. Something's leading to those emotions. I want to dive into this because for a teacher who is committed to instructing, influencing, and guiding, and advocating, and all the things, to walk away from that, it needs to be something you're walking to, not something you're walking away from. And here is what is happening. What's happening is there's constant chaos in many of these states and sometimes in cities. To give you an example, in Tennessee, most counties sent their kids back to school, and I'm blessed to be able to put my kids in a private Christian school, and so they've been going to school the entire year, started in August. Played sports, the whole 9 yards. Everybody's safe. Don't send me hate mail. I'm not going to read it. But in the city of Nashville, surrounded by counties where kids are in school, their kids just went back to school, public schools in Nashville. I believe it was February or March. February. It's unbelievable. So teachers are impacted by that. Chaos on schedules. Are we in? Are we out? Are we full-time remote? Are we half remote? How are we engaging these kids remotely when we don't have curriculum that's designed for that? Technology issues, never done this before, yada, yada, yada. The past year has robbed many teachers of their favorite part of the job. That is the interaction with students. And then it's created more of what I heard pre-pandemic from teachers who felt like they were burned out. More administrative paperwork. And then constant changes in their schedule. More flexibility, more administrative work. It's not what they signed up for. I get the frustration. Early teacher retirements are up in states across the country, as are leaves of absence. According to Education Week and their recent survey, 73% of school districts said their need for substitute teachers was higher in 2020 than in 2019. Quick note there. If you want to get into teaching, you need to be just chirping away, raising hands with your local school systems and saying, if you've got substitute teacher needs, I'm your guy, I'm your gal. That's how you get in. That's the proximity principle for teachers looking to get into a school system. Right now, a lot of school systems need teachers, need subs. Jump in. So between the technology challenges, low student engagement, and there's been all kinds of reports and stories on kids that are just failing miserably because of the online engagement model. It's just not what it was built for. Our public school system was not built for that. It's not ready. And then the fears over COVID, got to mention that. No shame there. I'm just telling you, people don't want to come back. Why would I go back? Here's my concern, and here's why I bring this up. When I talk to a teacher and I say, okay, let's see if this is in your sweet spot. Before you decide to leave, I'm going to go, okay, let's look at your talent. Do you have the talent of communication? Do you have the talent of connection? Do you have the talent of persuasion, organization? And so if teachers are going to say yes to that, we go, great. You've got the tools for this. Let's look at work you love. Do you love planning, researching, teaching, influencing? Ding, 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 ding. Okay, great. And what are the results you want to create? You want to drive excellence and potential and learning? You want to see kids' light bulbs come on? Whatever the answer is there, if it matches up, you go, okay, you're not released necessarily from the idea of teaching, because if you go do something completely different, you're going to come back and go, I'm missing something in my soul. Now, if you're in a public school environment where more paperwork, less flexibility, no interaction with the kids, then let's get you in another frame of teaching. You know, elementary school, middle school, high school is not the only way that a teacher can truly teach. Corporate training, that's teaching. You know, instructing and guiding from a consultative nature for consulting companies, that's a form of teaching. Higher education, teaching online where it's hungry adults who are trying to learn a second language or a skill or whatever. There's so many online training schools and non-traditional four-year education training. They need people who know how to instruct. My point in mentioning this is, don't just assume I'm getting away from the thing that I love, which is being an instructor. Where are all the places I can instruct? How many different ways are there for me to instruct? These are the questions you must wrestle with. Because if you don't, and you change careers completely and you're not doing any of that work that you love, that creates results that matter deeply to you, well, then you're in trouble. Because you're going to call me back and you're going to be miserable. So teachers, if you're listening to me, or you know somebody that's a teacher that's ready to quit, have them call me, please. Monday through Friday, 12 to 2 Eastern Standard Time, I'm standing by. Let me intersect with them on this journey before they decide to jump off the path. The number is toll-free, 844-747-2577. Don't walk away. Reassess, reassign, reapply, get after it. I get it's been really, really hard on teachers. Really hard. Extraordinary environment. But there is a way. Don't walk away too soon. All right, my time is almost up. But before I let you go, you matter and you do have what it takes. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.